guys, I'm Tasha and welcome back to Secrets of the Opposite Sex. I'm back with my girl Devin. Hey girl.
Hey Tasha.
And we have our two favorite toxic kings on the show today to talk to us about dating and marriage in the 30s. What's up, guys?
Hey, what up?
All right, Jared, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm Jaret Lloyd. I'm 34 years old. I am a software engineer and I live in the DMV area for those that want to know. And I'm single as a dollar bill for those that want to know.
You just shot. DM's open. What's going on, Ant G? Married for a little bit now. Ironically enough, I got married at 30. Owner of Two Comp Productions. I act and write also. Here to have a good time and spread some knowledge.
Knowledge or toxicity? Which one is it tonight? What you choosing?
Well, I think they both intertwine. So
a little bit of both.
All right. Well, all right.
I guess.
Don't do that, Dev.
Okay, well, let's jump right into it. Okay, so you're both in your 30s. So we want to know what dating has been like for both of you up until that point. And Ant, I hope that since you're married that you can't relate. But how was the transition from dating in your 30s to marriage?
Well, I didn't date in my 30s. I got married at 30. So I was only dating one person. With my fiance, we were engaged for like a year, a little under a year. So, but no, it was, dating up until that point was cool. I guess we still do date now, but it's like, marriage dating. So it's like more, I guess, more planned, a little bit more methodical, a little better on the pockets, one would say, as opposed to being single. Because you kind of, once you get married, you kind of developed all the likes, and people's favorite place and stuff like that. So it's a lot easier for you to plan and budget and things like that. I guess when you're out here in these streets, still dating, it's a lot harder as a man to plan and date. But Jared will speak more to that.
We talked about toxic earlier, and Jared happens to live in the toxic capital of the nation, in the DMV.
I do.
So what is dating like in Toxic City? Chocolate City.
That's a good question. Dating in the DMV area is interesting, but it's fun. It's fun because you're in the area, it's a melting pot up here. You get to kind of mix and mingle with people from all kind of different backgrounds. So that aspect is fun, but it can be exhausting because this is an area where people don't really want to commit. So dating is more like it's like a sport, as opposed to really dating to kind of build a connection, a true connection with somebody, and take it to the next level. So if you're looking to just date and meet a lot of people and have a lot of great dating experiences, this is definitely a great area for that. But if you're looking to build like a real connection and take it to the next level with somebody, that aspect is pretty challenging up here. I will say now though, it's a little bit more in the guy's favor because women been cooped up in the house for a long period of time. So this is to the fellas. Now would be the time to shoot your shot. Dating it's weird dating because, especially in a metropolitan area, because I feel like people are more career oriented than actually wanted to like settle down and like have a family. So if that's what you're looking for, it may be a little bit difficult for you.
You said it like it's something new, like it hasn't always been in the guy's favor in the DMV. Like it's always been in the guy's
right. I was gonna say that, Tasha. I was gonna say that.
I don't understand. Like the DMV has never been nice to women. I think men definitely run that area, and women are just, responding to the foolishness and whatever is thrown their way. That's what you get, a response. Their behavior is a direct.
I can't speak for the guys who's out here just playing games. There's a pool of guys who are dating with a purpose. So I can only relate to those guys.
I'm personally victimized by men that I have dated in the DC, Maryland, and Virginia. So
wow.
Dang. Had to get up out.
What was so traumatizing? Like what?
First of all, men that were born and raised from DC, Maryland, or Virginia, Sergeant, are very toxic from that area, like just toxic. They look different.
They are different. We went to school with a lot of them, so a lot of them are a little different, and they're
A
a little,
little more,
they're a little.
a little more aggressive, a little more, a little more blunt.
Like I grew up in South Carolina, so I have humbled myself to different dating pools. Like when I'm in certain areas, I know that these are good men with good jobs. I think that if you're a man that grew up in DC or Maryland or Virginia, and you're growing up in a really nice neighborhood and there's really pretty girls that make a lot of money around you your whole life, you're like, I don't know, that might be it.
Could be.
I feel like there is a spoiled culture up here, because there's a good majority of people that are successful. There's a good majority of women that are very attractive up here, and they're doing well for themselves. So, when it comes to guys, you feel like, okay, this is successful, nice looking young lady. It's almost a dime a dozen up here. So they kind of take that for granted. Whereas if you go somewhere else, the pool may be a little bit slimmer, so you're appreciating those women a little bit more.
I also think I think men in that area mature a lot slower. Like they stay caught up in the club life, like the fun, like trying to be on the scene. Like they get caught up in that and stay in that world. And it's like all fantasy. Like it's not real life, but they get stuck in there just trying to put on and look like this for this, this person, that person. Right. It's strange. But I feel like a lot of guys get stuck up in that, and then they still 45 up in the club popping bottles like it's hot,
Girl, and you know who you are. And I hope that they watch this episode.
His girlfriend is 21. Just, it's just.
That was me when I first moved to DC. I will never forget. I was talking to this promoter, and I went through
red
his
flag number one.
Hour, and I saw his age, and I was like, "Oh my God!" He was way older than, even the age that he lied about. And I'm like, that was when I first moved there, and I'm like, I was the 21-year-old that he pulled at like 37, and I think he's still renting a penthouse in the club, and I'm like,
wow.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, so I feel like it's two different sides of DC. The gay clubs and the bars and spend a bunch of money. And then there's a side of DC that's a little bit more down to earth. Like there's different places you can go to that doesn't necessarily have like the bottle service. The dress code is a little more laid back. People a little more down to earth. You get more of like a kind of like a down south type of feel. I like to frequent those places as opposed to going to like the parks or the operas or whatever clubs are up here, because you kind of know what you're dealing with over there. Here you can actually on the other side, you kind of meet real people and people that are just not so status driven when it comes to dating.
Where do you go to find those people?
Well, me myself, like a kickback in my house, or just like inviting some people over, having like a game night. It's a more intimate setting. People bring people that you haven't met before, so you get to meet new people that way. It's just a comfortable setting.
Yeah. How many dates would you say you have like on a regular basis, like in a week?
I'm a little washed than I used to be, so
Washed.
not many. It's probably maybe like once a week type thing. My dates now are a little bit more planned just because I live a little bit further away from the city. So if I'm gonna be going out, then it's more of a planned thing. But I'm not out here dating, 3 times a week type thing, because that can get a little, expensive, especially in this area. But yeah, I'll probably say like maybe once a week.
So just for the record, it's not dating 3 times a week because you don't want to see 3 different women a week. It's just because you're trying to keep it within budget, right?
Not only that, my priority is a little bit different from when I was younger. Now I'm more worried about, work and building, and I'm also in the process of building a business as well. So that's more of my focus. That kind of trumps me actually dating. But it may be a week where I'm on 3 different dates or something like that. That can happen. But that's just not a high priority on my list right now.
That just sounds so stressful. 3 dates, 3 different people.
It's-
Hey man, hey, it's the law of averages. The more people you connect with, that may just be the one.
Also, that's also the higher percentage of failure as well. But
I mean
I
that
feel
too.
either way you want to look at it.
Well,
You
elaborate on
said
that.
that your business and your work was a main focus. So that's when Dev asked you about the 3 dates a week or whatever.
Right.
So do you think women look at it from that standpoint too? And then that may affect you guys kind of growing as a couple?
Oh yeah, definitely, and that's a great point. It's definitely an area where there's a good population of women who are, just very career oriented, and dating may not be at the highest priority for them. So it's a situation where you kind of got to get in where you fit in. Um, so that can kind of make it a little bit challenging if you're trying to build a true connection with somebody, because if they're putting work over, their dating life, then you gotta really kind of shine through that.
How did you approach dating before you got married? Were you going into each situation with the goal of being in a relationship, or a goal of, the end goal being marriage? Or was it just like, I'm just out here being toxic?
So I had like a handful of girlfriends from like, high school throughout college up until I got married, because I didn't think like it took so much to like become a girlfriend of mine. There were standards contrary to what certain people may believe or may not believe. But I mean, it was a little different back then too, because there weren't as many dating apps as there are now. Like, I know it sounds weird, but Facebook was a great dating app back then. MySpace. Shoot, I grew up Black Planet.
Oh,
Hey,
I Planet.
You go back to high school, AOL Instant Messenger. So, those were kind of like the dating apps that we kind of grew up on. So it was very limited. And 9 times out of 10, if people had access to you through those apps, then there was some type of connection somewhere. Now you're connected through all these people and you don't know where it is. So for me, my situation, I think Facebook my wife, and she just ignored it. And then I found another way in college. So that was kind of my end. But for me, I've always kind of gone with some person to vouch for you, if that makes sense. I think it's a lot easier to go that route to get to know people, as opposed to walking up to the stranger in the club or the bar, like, hey, can I get your phone number? It's just never going. I don't know how many times that's effective. I feel like the percentages are less than 10.
I have a question for Ant. Ant said whether or not people believe it, which I mean, I believe it. You
I
said
appreciate that, Devin.
you're welcome. You said that you have high standards and that you can't just be your girl because you're cute with a fat ass. So what else does it take? What else does it take? Because I'm ready to hear.
I didn't say nothing about no body parts or anything like that. But I might have said cute, but no, I think especially nowadays, like, you can buy looks, you can buy butt, you can buy boobs, you can buy lips, you can buy nose, you can buy all of that. So I don't, and I'm not gonna say it doesn't matter, because that's the first thing you're attracted to when you see a person is their physical. So of course, once you get past that, you've got to be able to have a conversation. And by conversation, I mean, give and take. You're adding something to my life per se. And then you've got to have personality too. And you've got to be able to pass. There's a certain test. You got the friend test, you got the family test, you got the stranger test, you got the event test. Like, there's a lot of tests on each end. I think, and I feel like that should be for everybody on each end. But you got to be able to pass those tests. Like, I got to be able to take you to my friend's wedding. Or I've got to be able to take you to a work event. Or I've got to be able to take you to the Juneteenth cookout that me and my family may have, or whatever the case may be. So there's different levels, and you've got to be able to pass those tests for me. And if you can't, then it's going to be tough. And then also, you've got to understand that I was an individual before you. I'll be an individual with you and I'll be an individual after you if that tends to happen too. So you gotta be able to keep your individuality. Like, don't smother me, don't want me around all the time, don't want to be around me all the time, if that makes sense.
That was a great answer.
It was great.
It wasn't even rehearsed, I promise.
So, Jared, and then Ant, you can answer afterwards. But since you're married, I'm going to direct the question to Jared first. Do you feel like there's anything that women your age put too much of an emphasis on when it comes to dating? Like Ant just made the comment about how you can buy looks. Do you think that there's anything that women put too much of an emphasis on when it comes to dating?
Yeah, I think, well, especially, I keep talking about the DMV area, but I mean, that's where I'm residing. There's a lot of emphasis on status and like just superficial things, like materialistic things and stuff like that. I could really care less about how much money you make, if you got the latest, you know, Chanel perfume or Chanel purse. I'm more concerned about who you are as a person. What kind of personality do you have? Do you have a good sense of humor? How do you look when you're not all dolled up? When you're just in like some jeans and a t-shirt? Are you still catching my eye that way? People are really into just like the status driven stuff, and everybody is not into all that. I got to be able to have fun with you. I got to be able to have like deep conversations with you. I got to be able, just like Ant said, take you around my friends. If I can take you around my friends and I can just like walk away for a second and you're good and like your personality shines and you can just communicate with them without me being there, that means a lot to me, because that means that you really have that personality. But if I leave you around my friends and you're just kind of quiet or standoffish and don't really have much to say, that's going to kind of weigh heavy on me, because it just kind of shows me just a lack of personality. I personally need that personality to keep myself engaged.
I know that even though you're married, you have an answer for this.
Gotta answer
Yeah,
Yes, that's facts. Do you think that women in their 30s put too much of an emphasis on something about men that they're dating?
as a whole, yeah, I think one of the biggest things is what they see on social media. And this isn't, I want to go back and clear up something before, because I feel like I can see people attacking me in the comments. I wasn't attacking anybody or being negative in regards to anybody that purchases lips or noses or butts or boobs or anything like that. I just was saying that those are things you can attain. You can't buy a personality. Or there's a verse or somebody saying you can pay for school, but you can't buy class. But to you, yeah, I think social media is like, oh well, I gotta have this or I gotta have that, not knowing what those people are going through. And I think in your 30s, shit, it's a problem at every age level, I think. But I think particularly in your 30s, because you're starting to kind of find yourself and figure out life a little bit, if that's even a thing. And so you're like, damn. And the comparison aspect, you're like, damn, like she was a hoe in school. She got 3 kids, 5-bedroom crib, 2 cars, da da da, whatever the case may be. And you start doing a comparison game, and so I think those two things, social media and then the aspect of comparison through social media, really puts a damper on dating. Because I talk to my friends a lot about these things, and believe it or not, they come to me for advice, men and women, which is odd, but we discuss a lot of the things in regards to dating and such. So you kind of yeah, it's weird to me too, but you kind of feel for them, especially the ones that are really good, genuine people. And you want them to be happy and you want them to attain all the things that they want, but you also don't want them to rush into anything and then become a statistic on the wrong side. You rushed into something and now you got a kid and you divorced 18 months after this kid was born, and now you a single mom out here deleting all the pictures on your Instagram and your Facebook or whatever, trying to start anew. And so that's rough. So I don't, I don't want people to get into that situation either. So it's tough all around. But I think those two things play a huge part.
So Jared, since you're currently dating, I have a question because what Ant said, he brought up a good point. So at this point, we're mid-30s. Are you holding someone's past against them? Maybe something that they may have done that you know about, or someone that may have dated that you know or you're friends with. Is that something that plays a role into who you will and won't date? Or how far you get with that person in the dating game? If you know something, or they may have like dealt with somebody that you know?
No. I mean, I wouldn't want somebody to hold my past against me. I feel like we all have a past, and I'm more just interested in who you are, this person. I feel like everything that you've gone through before us meeting, should have helped you grow to the person that you are now. So I'm more interested in getting to know, who you are in present day. I can really care less about, if you dated somebody I know. Now, if it's one of my close friends,
I was about to say,
I'm gonna do a background check on you. If it's like somebody in my close circle, if it's somebody in my close circle, that'll be a conversation. Because I'm not gonna say that's a deal breaker. That would just be a conversation as, okay, what happened? Why didn't it work out? What's your opinion of me moving forward and dating this person? But besides all that, yeah, I'm just more interested in who you are in present day.
Jared, let's say that you're in a relationship, and then since you're married, is there something that you could find out about
I'm married.
your person and that would just end things? Or what is something that you could find out about that person that would make you want to wrap up the relationship?
I'll go first since as y'all so eloquently put it, I'm married. So I think for me, I don't know, once you get up there and you speak those words across each other and you sign that paper and everything else, I think for me, it would take something drastic. Like, you probably have to like kill a relative or something for me. And it's just for me because I know, in my lifetime, certain things that I've done. So if something was to come back, I would understand like, oh, this is, you're kind of getting the get back, this is from the Lord above or whoever you believe in. So I think you would have to do something really, really drastic. Like, I don't know. It'd be tough, man, because like I said, you say through sickness and health, till death do us part. So I think, I like to think that people tend to try to work things out. Like, of course, I don't think anybody should stay around for physical abuse or mental abuse, anything abusive. But outside of that, like, I don't think you should leave someone because they liking pictures on Instagram. I don't think you should leave someone because you found a message from 2006 from one of their boys and it was just like, yo, what's up? And y'all had a conversation. I don't think those are things, deemed worthy. But if you look all over the internet, it's like, oh my gosh. But I told my wife, somebody gonna die. So to them do us part. Somebody gotta die. So
That's real. For me, I'm a very observant person, so I try to look for the red flags, but like in a subtle way. So if I'm dating somebody and for some reason they're repeatedly in a new friend circle and like you don't have any like friends from back when maybe your childhood or back in college, like you're constantly having to be in a new friend circle.
Yeah.
That to me is a pattern of, okay, so what are you doing? Why are these friendships not working out?
stability.
Yeah,
Zero
stability.
stability.
Yeah. Or if somebody just has negative energy, like I like to sit back and observe, like if we're out on a date, how are you treating the server? How are you, treating the people around you? I feel like I'm a very positive person. I try to look at the positive side of things. And negative energy to me, it just kind of sours the whole, relationship for me. And also financially, like what are you, I'm not really concerned about how much money you make, but what are you doing with the money? Are you spending frivolously on things that's kind of keep you in a hole? or are you, able to keep up with your bills and, that, so on and so forth. So I try to just pay attention to those type of things, and that'll kind of guide me whether I want to move forward with this person or not.
That's important.
Agreed. We asked this to the 20 somethings, and because I think it might be something that they would have to deal with a little bit more, but it still could happen. What if you found out that your girl had an OnlyFans? Like, you knee deep in a relationship and you found out she had the OnlyFans. Would that bother you? Would that change the way you looked at her?
What's she doing on OnlyFans?
I don't know. What do they do on OnlyFans?
I'm not a
I
subscriber.
don't have a subscription, so I'm not too sure. But I mean, if she's up there, like, just doing sexual videos or showing her body, and then nah, I'm not with that. If me and you are gonna progress in a relationship, I want you to be, for me. Like, I don't want you to be for me and everybody else.
What if she making like 6 figures just showing feet?
Hey,
I mean, that's cool.
that's real.
I've been good by myself up until this point. I don't, I don't need you to contribute to what I can do financially at this point. So
no feet.
that's
So what is the cutoff? Like no nipples?
Well,
No,
for
like,
me, I have a kid now, so I don't want my kid to ever grow up and be like, "Oh, mommy, the kids were passing around a video of you on the internet," or whatever the case may be. But I don't knock it. It's just now where I'm at in my life. So what I think of the Jamie Foxx show. We're a little older, so and Braxton was dating the stripper, but like she was telling him she was a nurse, but her stage name was Nurse Whatever. So, like, nah, we can't do that. Like, you need to tell me straight up. And then I think you got to be honest with people and allow them to make a decision. And when you allow them to make a decision or a choice, then you both can live with it. But when you're deceptive like that, then somebody gonna be pissed off.
I'm gonna go back to the feet thing though. The feet is okay, but you can't go above the ankle. Like, as long as it's like the ankle and below, go ahead and get your money, baby. We good.
No face, no case.
No face, no case.
No face.
That ain't true. They can match tattoos and everything now. But hey, man, make that dollar. Just always remember, every dollar ain't a good dollar.
Right.
It's true.
Okay, well, to completely change subjects from OnlyFans to love, which I'm sure some people fall in love with OnlyFans, but that's none of my business until I have my own OnlyFans page, which I will plug for sure.
Okay, Dev.
Oh, okay, Dad. So you the homie, so I'm a subscribe. I ain't gonna watch, but I'm gonna get a subscription.
I'll be on there with gloves on eating crab legs, but that's
I'm allergic. I can't subscribe.
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna keep that $5.99.
okay. So, anyways, back to love. Do you think that love is just a feeling, or do you think it's a choice?
I think it's both. It's definitely a feeling because I feel like the more you get to know somebody and the more your energies become familiar with each other, it draws you to that person. The more you have deep conversations with the person, the more you spend time with this person, the more you start to fall in love with that person. But also it's a choice to take it that far as well. Like, you can also choose to be preoccupied and be dating other people or immerse yourself in business or whatever it is, and not allow yourself to really fall that deep in love with somebody. So I think it's a mixture of both.
Married man, your thoughts?
Well said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're the one that's actually in love, bro.
Nah, I ain't in love. Love is in me. But
Ooh.
I think give me them snaps. But nah, I mean, I'm in love with food and things like that. But
Oh my god.
It's love is a
Somebody
tricky
cut
thing,
his
and I think
mic,
I think you got to be careful when because a lot of people live through the love is patient, love is blind, blah 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 blah, and I think that's
Okay.
Corinthians or something like that.
I thought it was
Oh.
kind.
Huh?
Love is kind.
Love is patient, love is kind, not
Oh,
love.
well, I said love is blind. Oh, I was
blind.
watching the verses the other night. That's
I'm
what
gonna
I
say,
said.
you think about the
Love
East
is
song.
kind, not blind.
That's a song too. Whew.
But but love is blind,
Love
and
is
it will
blind
take
too.
over your mind. So
Hey,
Come
you
on.
know, so all of it's relative because a lot of people put time. They try to equate time with love, and I don't think those two things match at all. So, because I feel like you may be in love with somebody way quicker than they're in love with you.
do you believe in
But I
love at
think
first sight?
I do actually. No, I do. But
Okay.
With
Can you
humans or
just
food?
Right.
both,
Gotta make the distinction.
Oh,
both, both. No. I think you and another person have to grow into love. So you can love someone physically. Like I love plenty of people physically because of the way they look. So it's one of those things to where you can love someone physically and be like, oh shit, she fine. I love her. But that's just from the physical standpoint.
So
Does that make sense? Am I
I get what he's saying because
That
if
makes
you meet if it's at first sight, what more do you have to go off of than the physical?
Right. And even when you think about from the world of celebrity and things like that, like people love these people. But prime example, Michael B. Jordan. People love that dude. Idris, people love that dude. People love these dudes because of the way they look, because they don't know them. All you know is what they look like and what they sound like and how much money they make. So you love those things, but you don't love that person. People love Beyonce for what? Because think about, so you love these people for what they can do or provide, but you don't love them for the person that they are.
is that love or admiration? Like,
yeah.
But I think love and admiration are one and the same too.
It's like the love versus in love.
Yeah, that's why I said so. You grow in love with somebody. You don't fall in love with somebody. You grow in love with somebody.
okay. Well, let's completely shift gears.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, "What the hell is this nigga talking about?" Y'all can just DM me or something. It's fine. I'll explain it more. I got a book coming out. It'll explain it more too.
Oh, all right, author. Okay. So do you think there's a responsible way to cheat?
Okay, now we're getting toxic.
Let's get
Let's
toxic.
get into the toxic question.
What you've been waiting for.
Hello.
So you gonna go, Jared? Because I'm up.
A responsible way to cheat.
Yes.
Jared is single as a dollar bill. He doesn't have anybody to cheat on.
All right, so here's my thing, and this is just my take, Angie's take on the cheating.
Tasha had to leave.
Tasha was like, I'm out. No, me personally, okay, you ready? So I don't feel like
she got a drink.
You're able, is Tito's paying you? I don't feel like you're able to cheat until you're married. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Ooh, okay. Now we're getting somewhere.
You can, when you're married legally, there's documentation and everything else. So if you attempt to cheat or you cheat or whatever, there's consequences for said cheating. If you quote unquote cheat when you're with a girlfriend or boyfriend, you can just leave and there aren't any consequences. Like, you can just be like, all right, whatever, I'm gone. So I think there's different, I guess I see cheating in a whole new aspect as opposed to somebody that would be dating or would have a boyfriend or girlfriend.
So I kind of get with that point. I've had relatives tell me you single until you married. But I do feel like you have a responsibility when you establish a commitment with somebody. Like if you establish a commitment with somebody and the commitment is to, only be committed to each other, then you have a responsibility to that.
Yeah, but you're not bound by it though. You're never bound.
You're not bound by that. No, you can do whatever you want to do, but you just gotta be willing to deal with the consequences.
But what are the consequences though?
Is that why we have so many men that are just like, oh, I marriage is a piece of paper. I don't want to get married. Like, it is that what that is?
I think so. Honestly and truly, I do think so. And there are a lot of women like that too, by the way. So I ain't gonna just
that
let you
don't
throw
want to
this
get
on.
married or think that
Yeah.
marriage is a piece of paper. Shit, so is money.
Yeah.
Everybody gonna break their neck to give them some of that. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand.
You're right, but I do think that because I have friends that I've had conversations with, I'd be like, "Yo, you never thought about settling down or whatever." Like, nah, man, you know, nah, you see this, and I'd be like, nah, I mean, I see you out here, you living, you enjoying it, but I'm thinking like, for me, I'm like, somebody's about to take care of you when you get older.
Hello.
Like,
So I look at relationships as like practice for marriage. That's just how I personally look at it. So if I'm getting into a relationship with somebody, you know, I'm gonna practice with this person as if we're married. So that means if we're married, we're gonna be 100% committed to each other. Then that's what I'm practicing. But there's some people who, you know, don't necessarily subscribe to that. There's some people that are cool with, you know, being in a relationship and still like dating other people or, you know, being a little bit more open. So I guess you have to kind of discuss, you know, what it is that works for you guys that's gonna allow you guys to be successful.
it's gonna sound terrible, but you said you asked if there's a way to like properly
Responsibly
do it,
cheat.
right?
Echo.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is don't embarrass them. And if you're not Jay-Z or Kobe Bryant or one of them dudes that can go buy a $30 million ring, 9 times out of 10, she gonna leave you because you've embarrassed them to a point of no return.
So,
Embarrassment is a huge, huge thing.
so let me say something. If I'm just a regular girl that is not dating a man that's buying me a Bentley and he cheats on me, I'm going to be sitting here maybe possibly thinking, okay, you have never bought me a $30 million ring. You never bought me a Bentley and you're out here cheating on me. I'm going to be humiliated because you're cheating on me. I think that a lot of women are professional overthinkers. I'm not going to say all women are. I overthink. But I mean, it's not like, oh, okay, like, oh, you smashed her. Oh, well, whew, let's just keep it between us. Don't tell your boys.
So, Dev, let me ask you this because there's like, so what about the aspect of cheating mentally? So, how do you see that? Because we all tend to think, oh, you know, there was sex involved. But I'm one of the people. I don't think I would be upset if you like saw some guy you was physically attracted to and was like, hey, you know what? I want to, you know, give it a go, as opposed to you going, building a relationship with this person emotionally, mentally, or whatever. You know, you guys exchanging what your favorite colors are and things of that nature. I think that would upset me more as opposed to you just finding a guy you were physically attracted to.
I mean, I think both would upset me. I mean, I think that, see what you said, I think part of what you said, I want to say you're right, but then I want to correct myself and say that you're not right. You are wrong. When the embarrassment factor kicks in, it makes it 10 times worse. So if you tell me like, oh, okay, I saw this girl, I thought she looked good, I wanted to have sex with her, I'm thinking, okay, so you thought she looked better than me. That's probably what I'm thinking in my head first.
But
Second of all, if I see that, you know, I don't go through phones, but if you know, I see something in your phone that says, you know, that you've been having a conversation with a girl for 6 months about how depressed you are and how your life sucks, and I'm your girl, I'm gonna be humiliated even if you didn't sleep with that girl. Like, what are you doing texting this girl at 11 o'clock at night and calling her and sneaking away, and her name is saved as Pizza Hut? Like, that's embarrassing.
so anytime you got to do that, you feel like you got to hide something, and then that's being deceptive. But what if her name is saved as Amanda, and you're having a conversation with Amanda because you guys connected at Starbucks while y'all were waiting on y'all lattes or something like that? So you haven't done anything physical, but you guys have just developed a relationship
So I got a quick question.
without
So
that.
what are we actually debating here? Because so the question was, is
Well, I was
there
speaking to emotional cheating.
That's what it is.
no what I'm saying is okay, so we can all agree that cheating is cheating. Cheating is
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. We can't though. That's what I'm saying
Well,
because
I think, and the thing is, like, the difference between what you're saying and, okay, mental cheating, nobody's
or
gonna
emotional.
know but you.
But I mean, emotionally.
Emotionally with another person, okay, that person will know. I feel like whenever there's another person that can come tell me anything about you that I don't know, or something that you did with that person that I don't know, then that's cheating, that's crossing the line. Nobody should ever come and tell me anything about you like that.
Right, but not even them coming to tell you something you didn't know. Like, what if, like you all know how you start out dating somebody or whatever, you exchange certain information with each other to kind of get to know them. So what if this person is just kind of like found this person and they're just like exchanging text messages, emails, phone calls, or whatever the case may be?
It shouldn't be a secret.
Well, no, I'm not saying it's a secret though. That's what I'm saying. Like they're not hiding it. They're not doing anything. They're just like, hey, I got this new relationship, friendship, or whatever the case may be. Do you see that as cheating? Because they haven't done anything physically with this person. They haven't gone out on a date with this person. They haven't done anything with this person. They've just been communicating with them.
I think that's relative. And I don't know. I honestly, I feel like that's super situational, because some women are sneaky like that. Some women use that as a way to,
Yes.
snake their way into.
I'm not denying it.
Yeah, but and there are some people who have genuine intentions. Like, I do believe that, opposite sex can be friends and be platonic friends. So I do believe in that too. So it really depends on how you're going about it. If it's a secret, if it's news to me, if I have to stumble upon it and you didn't tell me first, then I'm going to feel like, probably more to the story here. But if it's something like, it's not a secret, I know about it, I've met her, I've been around each other, that may be different, but I'm going to have to keep my eye.
So then that goes to another point then. So am I supposed to tell you all of the friends that I make after we get into a relationship?
Yes.
I'm sure.
So wait.
No. Listen, Ant. I think, okay, so communication and transparency are very important to me, because
100%.
if you meet somebody, if you're in Starbucks and you meet Amanda and you get a vibe from her immediately that makes you want to exchange information with her, let me know. But if I feel like that you interacted with another woman, that she has your attention now, and you're wanting to tell her, you're wanting to call her on the way home from work and tell her about stuff that you're not telling me,
that's the problem.
You need to at least let me know, like, hey, I met this girl Amanda at Starbucks, she's cool. Like, you need to let me know, because then guess what? I'm gonna gauge. I mean, especially if I'm not married to you, I'm gonna gauge too. Like, if I'm continuing to pour into somebody and you're out here just meeting up with Amandas at Starbucks, and now you have all these group chats with these girls, then you're not, I'm not you, but the man might not know how it feels for me to meet up with Adam at Starbucks, because I've never put him in that position. Right. So if you want to meet Amanda, I can have 6 Adams.
It's a dangerous to play.
I think it depends on how far you carry it. Like, could you tell that you had a good thing at home after you met Amanda and you texted her and then you went out with her one time as friends and you're like, no, she's not it? Or did you have to like date a whole nother woman, sleep with her and tell her that you loved her, and then come back to me and be like, you know what, Dev, I like you more?
That's the quickest way to miss out on a good thing. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like
but how do you know? That's what I guess that's what I'm getting at. Like, how do you know? I'm only asking.
Like, you learned this the hard way. I don't
know. I've been watching this show on Stars. It's called Run the World. It's like about 4 women in New York, whatever.
In Harlem. Yeah.
So the one girl, she slept with the guy that slept with all the friends, the community guy, whatever.
The community, yeah.
And she's engaged. But you learn throughout her story, she's been with this guy since undergrad and nobody else.
Never experienced anything else.
Right. So then she goes and she's experiencing it and she's like, oh my God, what I did was terrible. Like, this is the person I'm supposed to be with, or whatever the case may be. And so then you kind of had that. So how do you so that's, I guess that's kind of where I'm pulling from. Like, so in that aspect, like, how do you guys feel about that aspect?
That's a good question. I'm gonna let the ladies answer first.
First of all, you hop into the little question aspect where you guys get to turn tables a little early.
I mean, toxic kings, we gotta ask some toxic questions.
Yeah, I'm being toxic.
Breaking all the rules. Honestly, I can't relate to that because I've never moved that way. I've never functioned that way. Like I get things out of my system and I'm not going to commit to somebody unless I feel like I've done what I needed to do and they've shown me what I needed to see in order for me to feel like I'm going to go this way. And once I go this way, we on that road together, brother. You know what I mean? You know what happens? We need to figure it out together. I'm not going to go outside and talk to Joe over here or Adam over here. You know, I'm not going to go outside to figure out what's missing in my situation. I'm going to figure out what's missing in my situation with the person I'm in a situation with.
First, I'm gonna figure that out first. Like for me, just like you, Aunt, people may not know this, but I have high standards. I have a long list typed out in my phone of things that a man has to not just be but thrive in. If I'm just like, if I'm on the fence about somebody, I'm not going to test the waters with other people. I've been on 3 dates a week when I was living in DC, maybe more. And like, if the first one is good, the second one you're like, why am I here? Like it gets harder to fake it when you meet somebody that you really like. That's what I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's a red flag for me if I'm dating somebody who's never been with anybody else other than me. I would kind of want that person to kind of live a little bit before we, join together in marriage or something. Because like we're talking about forever, and you only been with one person your whole life. That's a lot to deal with, And I wouldn't want that person to be living with any type of resentment or any regrets that they didn't, truly live before or got whatever they need to get out of their system, do whatever they need to do to understand that I'm really the one for her. That to me will kind of be a red flag.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Jaret first, then Aunt. And Aunt, yours is past tense. We get it. You're married. We get it. Okay.
Y'all keep saying it.
Y'all the ones bringing it up.
Get it. We're single. You're married. Okay.
Y'all keep saying that.
So we'll start with Jaret. Okay. So if you are romantically interested in a woman, how do you approach her?
Like I'll just let you know, hey, listen, I really feel your vibe. Like I really find you attractive. I just want to know if I could check you out. Let's, see if there's a vibe there. Let's just get straight to it. There's no point in me beating around the bush and I'm in my mid-30s. Like we're just wasting time here. So I would just take the direct approach and just let them know, listen, I've been have my eye on you for a minute and I just want to know if we can go out sometime.
Okay.
Games.
That's it.
And what about you? What do you do?
I'm not real at all. I'm not that person. No. It's gonna take a minute because, like, I don't know. Growing up, rejection was bad to me. So, like, I was one of those people. Like, I'm not about to go up to you if I feel like you're gonna reject me. Then, so you got to do your due diligence and kind of, I guess, do a little homework and study them. But rejection is just been bad. Like, and I know it sounds terrible because I'm in like the entertainment industry, but rejection is not a good thing. So I don't want to risk it, so I'm gonna do a little work to figure out who I may know or who, we have in common that I'm close with to kind of get in that way. Cause I gotta know your situation.
Also, I think you can kind of pick up if there's a vibe there. Like if like nobody wants to go in blind. I mean, if you do, you can. People shoot their shot that way as well. But there's a sense of thing. There's a thing of like chemistry and like if y'all have been around each other before, you can tell when somebody's kind of got their eye on you, engaging in conversation with you more than everybody else. You can kind of pick up on those type of things. So I try to look out for that first.
But Jerry, just like I know, it's tough because you don't want to pick the wrong friend and, and things like that. So it's just a lot that goes into that when you're approaching somebody.
But if my eyes on her, I try not to just play off of, okay, this person looks good. I try to I'm a very observant person. So when I'm around people, I can be kind of quiet at first because I'm just kind of picking up on just the energies and just kind of watching you kind of see how you are with your friends, how you are with other people. And that's how I kind of lock in on, who I want to shoot my shot with. So yeah, there may be a group of three, 3 women, they're all attractive, but personality to me means more than what your looks are. Of course, I got to be attracted to you, but I got to be able to kick it with you too. So that's what I try to sit back and observe, and then that's how I kind of choose if I want to lock in on this person.
Okay.
I don't know. I just feel like if you're not somewhat afraid a little bit of rejection, I think that's what creates a lot of these psychos out here, because they just go, 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 go.
Oh yeah.
Because they don't have a sense of anything in regards to rejection. It's just like they just like somebody gonna say yeah. So I'm gonna just keep going. And I think that's dangerous.
Yeah. Also, it's your approach too, though. Like, how are you approaching these women? Are you approaching them with respect, or are you saying like, "Hey, light skin, let me get your number," type? You know, what I'm saying? Like if you coming over, like if you're coming over and you're being respectable and you're being genuine, in your approach, then if you get rejected, there's nothing for you to be ashamed about. Like it just didn't work. But if you coming over and you saying something reckless, then that's something to be ashamed about because you came out of the wrong way. Obviously the fear of rejection is always gonna be there, but there's nothing that you did wrong in the situation for you to be ashamed about.
Right. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and get into the red flag game, the killing my vibe edition. So if your partner kept tabs on who texted who last, is that a red flag?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. For me, no, but it's petty, but it's not a red flag though.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know if I would classify it as a red flag, but it does like kind of expose insecurity for me.
Yeah, no, it's there. But I mean, that's people though. Humans are insecure. We can work with that. I can work with insecurity.
What about if your partner routinely comes too fast during sex?
Are you asking us? Like,
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, I
Like,
can't.
Act like you've been there, bro.
Right.
Okay.
say it again.
AJ,
What's you say?
Partner, is it a red flag if your partner routinely comes before you during sex? Jaret?
If my partner routinely comes before me, I think that's the
Yes.
goal.
When she comes too fast, that's a goal.
I mean, I don't care when she
ain't no
comes.
such thing
Like,
as too fast.
she can come again. Like, this is not like
The way that you guys,
it's not like a one-hitter quitter situation.
well, that's how
Ain't
guys
no
are.
such thing.
They come and they
Well-
roll over and it's a wrap. So
Well, we're built
Oh,
differently.
you saying if she's like done after that?
yeah, she got hers. She got what she came for. Have a nice night, sir.
Okay. So I'll put it this way, and it's okay. And I don't want this to sound cliche. I'm a pleaser. So
Heard this before. Go ahead. Mhm.
So I'm a pleaser. So I'm okay. So my whole goal is for her to come, obviously. So if she comes too fast, that's fine. But if it's a cycle where she's coming and I'm not coming, then there's got to be a conversation. Like, because I feel like you can come again and I can get mine. So why are we stopping so early? Because that to me is it's selfish, and that's a red flag. Selfishness to me is a red flag. So if you're selfish in that aspect, what else are you going to be selfish in?
Toxic king.
Selfishness is a red flag until it's not a red flag. But in regards to that last question you asked, Tosh, I mean, I listen, man, I'm in my mid-30s now. I'm not gonna hold nothing against nobody. Now, when we were younger, then I'd be like, but now, nah, hey, you know what? Because I never know which me you go get. So I can't hold you accountable for something that I can't control.
Nah, bro, you gotta answer the question. If you repeatedly not getting yours and she getting hers, you're not gonna just be totally cool with that.
But how long we been together? Because what I'm saying is, at some point, I know what you can do, just like you know what I can do. But as you grow, you ain't gonna
Well, you
be
gotta
able to
do
do
it.
what you used to do. Nah, bro, it don't work like that. I can't get down like I got down 10 years ago. It don't work like that.
We're not talking about us. We're talking about them.
Oh, well,
We ain't talking about us.
I never.
Here's if you come fast.
What's that?
What you say?
Was it that?
What? I'm just kidding. Oh, it doesn't matter.
No, what'd you say? No, I'm saying, no, what matter?
Do you think it's a red flag if she finishes early and then rolls over and starts snoring? Yes or no?
No, I think women take a little more time to discover their bodies and all that it can do quicker
Well,
than
she
men.
discovered hers.
Listen, man, you better wake your ass up and
Not roll back over.
yeah, we'll get you out of your sleep. We're gonna have to figure something out. I ain't finna be tossing and turning, you sleeping peacefully, because you got yours, and
Yeah,
it's
and that's
night.
not good for men either.
Yeah, I mean,
Physically,
granted,
it's not good.
I got I got hands, but that's not the same thing.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Oh man. You know, the flip side is it's just so funny. Like if women said this to men, yeah, a lot of hurt little egos run around here.
Look,
Oh no, listen, man.
Putting
Now
it
back in my younger days, in case my wife do watch this, back
down.
in my younger days before her, I let know quickly, man. This is gonna be like a boxing match. So 3 minutes around, and we never know which round might be the TKO round. So you got to take that how you want to take it.
look,
We might go to full match, or so you got to take that as is. I'm very honest, open, never gonna fabricate, never gonna lie. And I'm gonna let you know, hey, so you can go tell your friends, whatever the case may be. I don't care. One day you might get, 11 rounds. One day you might get 15. One day you might get 2. Just depends on the day and what's going on.
look, I'm not good at math, but those numbers don't add up to me. 11, 15, 2. Because the ones that I got one round from, I never got 10 more the next time. I got one round and I was like, all right, bye. And I let him fall asleep because I'm like, all right, this not happening. I don't want to get back in the ring again to see, is this gonna be 30-second knockout or are we gonna go all 12 rounds? I don't want to find out. I don't want to go back in that ring and get beat up again. I want to just stay home until I find somebody else to fight.
And if that's the case, then I just got to schedule a fight with somebody else.
Okay.
I can live with that.
All right.
Toxic king.
Toxic.
Toxic.
Nah, it's the truth.
Yeah, Tasha, we already know answer to this next question.
Uh-oh.
Oh
I
goodness.
put some chapstick on.
What's the next question?
So if you find out the person you're dating is sleeping with multiple people, how would that make you feel?
Is
Like,
it a red
the
flag?
impression, you're right. Is it a red flag?
Oh.
If you were under the impression that y'all were just sleeping with each other.
Yeah, I think and we've had this discussion before, I don't put as much emphasis on physicality as the majority of the people in the world do. Now, do I think it's a red flag? Are you being safe about what you're doing? Are you getting tested? If those things aren't happening, then fuck yeah, it 1000%. But if you're being safe about what you're doing and it's being communicated like, hey, you ain't the only one, think you the only one, then
Well, that's the
I
point.
get
It
it.
hasn't been communicated. Like you're under the impression that y'all are just sleeping with each other.
It's more than a red flag. That's a lawsuit. No, that's dangerous. I see like stuff like that. I don't, because I know how safe I am and, or was, or whatever the case may be, and things I do to the preventative measures and things that I took growing up. So, and I think Jared will tell you and anybody else, you could come in my apartment in college and my results was on the refrigerator. Like you knew what it was. I didn't want it wasn't no secrets, no nothing. Hey man, we clean around these parts.
Oh,
So you gotta, I think that's dangerous. And I can't, that's the type of stuff people end up on the ID channel for.
oh my
That's
God.
dangerous.
It's wild out here. I mean, that's a primary conversation for me. Like if we're getting to the point where we're gonna be dating exclusively, then I want to know that we're dating each other exclusively. Like I'm gonna ask you, okay, so are you dating anybody else? Are you hanging out with anybody else? Before we make that agreement to date each other exclusively, that needs to be a conversation. I wouldn't just carry on and assume that this person is dating nobody else outside of myself. I need to know personally for sure.
Is it a red flag if the person that you're dating or your partner has a social media account that's on private and they don't add you?
I'm only laughing because I have a friend that her and her husband were like that. And they're not together no more, but like, yeah, no, definitely.
During the
Definitely,
marriage?
1000%. Huh?
They were like that during the marriage?
Yeah, like you explained everything. And I was just like, oh, it was weird. Yeah, because I'm in a picture with I met the husband later on, but I'm in a picture with the husband. So I was trying to tag him one time. And then so I went to her profile message. I was like, yo, what's your husband's Instagram name? She was like, I don't know. We don't follow each other. And I'm just like,
Wow.
and then she explained, I was just like, oh, okay. But
Yeah, that's wild.
So, but for me, definitely.
I'm so confused. Like, what was the reason?
Well, for her, I guess she just she was never really she'd never really been into the whole social media thing.
She was never into it, but she had a page.
Her biggest thing was, at the end of the day, people are going to do what people want to do, which I totally understand. And her thing was like, I'm not about to be sitting here going crazy, trying to clock no nigga, blah, 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 whatever the case may be. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do, what I committed to do. And if you out here doing something stupid, then that's going to come back to you. And so, I mean, it made sense because, I have a similar line of thinking in regards to those things. So it made sense to me. Of course, in the outside world, it wouldn't make sense. It's like, oh, you big dummy. But I mean, she was right in what she said. So
I understand that.
I just think that people are so.
How you take vows and your husband?
But nah, I mean,
on the ground.
Because I mean, it's social media. Like, I mean,
is it like,
I don't know. That's their whole.
But the people that you post on your page, are they not like the people that are closest to you? So why would you not be connected? Because
well, I mean,
I
don't know. I mean, you could be,
like
I said, I understood it, but I can understand why people wouldn't understand it either. So
I think people are so stinky these days that it's necessary, and it's a red flag if they don't want you to.
But I have
be an issue, a conversation, or more than we friends. You my husband. We damn sure friends on everything. Like, what that doesn't make any sense. Like, I'll commit to being your husband or your wife. I won't commit to being your friend on Instagram.
So we agree that it's a red flag. We agree that it's a red flag. But what if the other person doesn't have social media? Is that a red flag?
That's different. Like, you can't be friends with somebody who doesn't have a page. Is that? I think it is for men. I think because all the men that I know that don't have social media are like,
wow.
And I was like, they are like the biggest players, like the biggest everything. And they know the moment that they get social media, all these girls are going to connect the dots and it's going to be a wrap. So all the guys that I know that don't have social media, that is why. So of course I don't know. Women is different. Like, I just know a lot of women.
So you going into it with trust issues.
What do you mean? If a man doesn't have it, like, I got some questions because I'm saying I'm basing this off of personal relationships and experiences that I have with the men in my life that don't have social media, that are like our age range, like they out here in the streets. That's why they don't have it. And I know what they do and I know how they handle themselves, and they've expressed to me exactly that's why I don't get caught up in that, because that's how you get caught up.
I get it. I guess I'm one of those people. I have mixed feelings on it. I see both points of views because I try not to give too much power to social media. Like, usually if I meet somebody, I'm never usually the first person to try to add them on social media.
Yeah.
Usually I'm the one that's, getting the request first. And it's like, okay, we can be friends. But if I never got the request, I'm for that too. Because I'm not gonna like automatically assume or other situations going on. I try to just judge by our interactions and how we grow to know each other. That's how I try to assess like how you're moving.
Yeah, I'm not saying lead with it, like, oh yeah, like right out the gate. But if you're dating somebody for an extended period of time, is that not something that ever comes up? Like, y'all take a picture together and you want to put it on social media, for instance. wouldn't you like, what's your Instagram name? You know, or something like that. Like at some point, like I just think that's an odd thing, especially to make it to being married and knowing that you both still have this.
So,
Y'all aren't friends on it. I think that's incredibly odd.
I don't, you're not obligated to follow anybody, just like nobody's obligated to follow you.
I don't know if you're gonna be my husband, you obligated. That's just
Yeah, I still want you to follow
Marriage is different.
yeah.
but
Long way.
No, it's not. You're still an individual.
Okay.
I guess
Like it's yours.
it would have to be a conversation to who I'm with. Is that important to you? Do you need that source of validation for me to like for us to post pictures of each other on Instagram or, you know,
And see, I'm not even talking about all
just
that.
put that aspect of our lives out there? To
That-
me, that's not really that important to me.
Yeah, no, that's another step. See, I'm not even talking about like going that far. I'm just saying in a sense of you have a page, I have a page, regardless of how much time either of us spend on the page. If we're in a relationship for some time, like why would we not, if you got other followers, if you follow other people, why would that not be something that you would do with the person that you laying with every night? That's it. Just, I think that's just strange to me because that does make me feel like, and your shit is private and I can't just look at it. So that does make me feel like, what are you hiding? Like what?
But you can though. You can be like, hey, let me see your Instagram, and I can be like, here you go.
Right, but that would lead to a question of like, well, let me just do. I got your Instagram now, so we just follow it. I don't know. I just if something so small becomes a thing, that makes me feel like because you're hiding something. You know what I mean? Because that's a
But
small
that
thing.
speaks
If you
to
follow a million people, I follow people that I never met a day in my life. You know what I mean? So why would I not want to follow the person that I'm laying with every night? It just doesn't make sense to me.
But what I'm saying is that, but Tosh, that goes back to that social media thing we spoke about at the beginning of the show. And that's what I'm saying. Like social media has diluted the world so much. I can see if you was like, if you was like, hey, it's time for us to buy a house. I need to see your bank statement so we can send this information over to the lender or whatever the case may be. You're like, no, 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 no. Like I can understand that. But something as simple as social media, it's just like,
That's my
I just
point.
think that
Something so simple becomes a thing, then it feels like there's more to the story.
but it's more so controlling from my aspect of it. It looks like it feels like it's more so controlling. Like you want me to do this because you want it done. I don't want to
Be
do
like,
it.
give me your phone, you need to follow
Not
me.
that I'm hiding anything. But no, it's not like I'm hiding anything. It's just I can make a choice to do what I want to do with my phone, with my account. I don't have to be hiding anything to make that choice.
It's strange.
Right?
I'll say for me, like if you're requesting me on Instagram and it's like I'm not gonna like ignore your request or like, you know what I'm saying, delete your request. I feel like if you do that, then you're inviting like insecurities to come in. So, if that's something, obviously if you're requesting me, then it's important to you for us to be connected on Instagram. So okay, cool, that's fine. But I'm also cool with you never request me, I never request you, and we just never become friends on Instagram. I'm fine that way as well. Because I just don't really care about social media like that. I don't really care what you post on social media or how that ties into our relationship.
All right, let me be toxic one more time
Uh-oh.
before you transition. So no. It's just this is funny to me because the whole social media thing has always been funny to me. All right, so what if I have Instagram and I told you, I don't do social media like that, and you see that my posts haven't changed, my post number hasn't changed, my friend request number hasn't changed, but I have the account. You still gonna be pissed off because I didn't add you?
That would be a question. I'm just like, well, I want to follow you. You gonna add me?
But I'm telling, for what though? When I don't do anything on there, like my shit's been the same. The last picture I had was 22. Because we all have things that we don't use anymore, right?
No, I don't know. I don't understand. I don't get it. So, all right. Since y'all tried to jump the gun on this one, it's actually finally come to the time where we turn the tables and allow you guys to ask us a question that we must answer. So go ahead, Toxic Kings. Do your thing.
Okay. What is something, I don't want to say negative, but what's some constructive criticism that your ex would give you in present day?
I've been told I can't make a decision on a lot of things. Especially if you ask me what I want to eat. I don't know. I'll never know what I want to eat. I'll never know what I want to
Nobody
eat,
does.
but I always want to eat. Don't never know. On how I handle stress, because I don't handle stress very well. And sometimes I should just shut up. Like, you don't have to comment on everything, girl. You don't have to comment on everything. You can keep some things to yourself. That's probably the most popular one. So yeah.
But for you to shut up,
I mean, because sometimes it's just like, I gotta say one more slick thing. Like, I gotta get that last little
Oh, you petty.
slick comment. Like, I just can't keep it to myself because I'm like, oh, you left the door wide open. So I'm like, I should just shut up. And I know it. I know it when I say it, but I still say it.
I was gonna say nothing, because I haven't had an ex in so long, but maybe my smart mouth, perhaps, maybe.
Perhaps.
maybe.
That would be it. That's it. That's all.
Okay. Can you say you've improved upon those things since you've been with your ex?
I think so.
Or do you care to improve upon those things?
Of course. I always want to be better for the person that I'm with. That's the goal. And I feel like the next person I'm getting closer to my forever person, right? So I want to be my best. But I will say I never really understood why people didn't tell people, like why people don't tell people about themselves. Even when the relationship is over, like me and my ex had
Fear.
very real, transparent conversations. And I took that as feedback, like things that I know I need to work on because, well, why are you're not lying. I know that what they're saying is valid. So I'm going to work on that because I know that's something I needed better for myself. So, and I want to walk into my next situation healed. I don't want any baggage and I want to be my best self. So yeah, got time to be carrying around all them bags. Be the bag lady.
No bags. Me, I mean, sheesh. Since my last relationship, I go to therapy. I meditate. I'm at a way better headspace. I pray throughout the day. I think that has helped me. All that.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. We really enjoyed the conversation. So why don't you tell the people where they can follow you?
First of all, appreciate y'all having us. This was a great time. I think we had a very interesting conversation.
Sure.
You guys can follow me on Instagram at _J Lloyd. That's at _J 2 L's OYD. I'm gonna plug something real quick. Be on the lookout. This is one of my t-shirts off my t-shirt line. T-shirt line is gonna be called Pursuit of Purpose. Website should be up in like a couple weeks, so it'll be like different like inspirational type of t-shirts that you'll see coming soon. So I'll let y'all know about it when it comes out.
Appreciate you and Dev, Tosh. All my socials at ANTGOREE at Ant Gore.
All right. Well, as always, we hope you enjoy the conversation this week. Please give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button below. Also, be sure to download the app, like, and comment on this episode of the podcast. We'll continue the conversation and see you next week. Bye, guys.
And come back in.